Heather, what'd you take away from Saban's press conference yesterday?
Well, I took away that they all got the memo from the SEC, which is talk about your own teams and move on from this. And they have, all the coaches did. But at the same time, you know, my sources are telling me that privately a rift still exists between these two. And they went in and they did their jobs yesterday at the coaches' meetings, which were mandatory. They were all seated in alphabetical order by school. Jimbo Fisher is actually the chair of the coaches group. And SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey said yesterday that he was very engaged. This was one of the most substantial meetings that they had. And Eli Drinkwitz said they needed this. They needed to go behind closed doors to talk about these serious issues without any fear of repercussions from what public comments they might say, right? So it was a productive meeting, from what I'm told. Lane Kiffin said that it was much calmer than people outside the room probably expected it to be. But I'm very interested to see what Jimbo Fisher has to say today. He is expected to talk to the media this afternoon.
Yeah, that's all great and everything, Heather, but what do you think he will say? What will be his response?
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he can continue to contain his emotions. I mean, I've covered Jimbo Fisher for a long time. I used to cover the ACC for ESPN.com. And as we know, he's not shy, but I don't think that he's going to spout off like he did the first time and say things like what got us all here talking about this in the first place. I think that he has been told privately to sort of reel it in a little bit. But look, the reason they were offended and so upset in the first place was because they believed that Nick Saban said not only did they violate NCAA laws, but Texas state laws. That's where they became so defensive. So I think that Jimbo this time around will be candid, honest, fast, move on like he always does. But I certainly don't think he's going to escape addressing this issue.
Heather Dinich, ESPN college football senior writer, joining us here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Heather, I'm interested, what has been the feeling around the rest of the coaches in the SEC or people at the meeting just about this feud being the biggest storyline of the last couple of days?
Well, there's certainly no escaping it. And every coach that was paraded into the media room was asked about it directly. And look, Kirby Smart tried to downplay it. He said, well, we don't talk to each other anyway. It doesn't matter. You should hear the way we talk to each other on Saturdays when we have the headsets on. It makes this look like Mickey Mouse. And okay, but there's also a reality to it that these are two of the most high-profile coaches, not just in the SEC, but obviously the country. And that's what other coaches said was, look, we're all strong-minded, opinionated people, and this is a frustrating time. That's what Greg Sankey said. He gets that. That's not a defense of what happened. But when you talk to people across college athletics, the reason this spat happened is because there are no rules right now around name, image, and likeness. And that's why these frustrations are boiling over.
Heather, is there a feel with the SEC community amongst the coaches, in all sports for that matter, that what Nick Saban's comments kind of shed like some negative light on the SEC conference? Because, quite frankly, we all have felt like the SEC, especially me being out west, has always been doing things kind of dishonest in a way.
So you're asking me to throw the entire conference under the bus for cheating? Is that where we're going with
this?
I'm
just asking. I mean, how do coaches feel? Do they feel like there's light shining on them now?
Well, look, I think that as Wake Forest coach Dave Clawson told me, this has exacerbated something that has already been there everywhere in college football, right? When you're talking, Brian Kelly was talking about this yesterday, about boosters. You've got to get the boosters out of the picture. That's where it has to start. How do you do that? Nobody has any idea, right? But Dave Clawson said, look, this has been happening all over the place everywhere. This is not new. So to single out the SEC for it certainly isn't fair. I think college athletics as a whole has a problem that it has to deal with. But this happening in the highest profile league between the two most popular household name coaches certainly brings the SEC under the microscope a little bit.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.